from WREG in Memphis. This is News Channel 3 at noon.
We begin with breaking news. An 18-year-old is dead this afternoon. Police say someone shot him multiple times at the Budget Host Inn on Airways last night. Someone took the victim to the hospital, but he did not survive. The shooter is still on the loose. This death brings 2017's homicide count to 89. New at noon, over 44,000 MLGW customers still don't have power right now, but we are hearing the latest about local and state efforts to help with the storm recovery. Representative Joe Towns held a press conference alongside emergency response agencies and government officials this morning. Thanks for joining us. I'm Markova Reed. WREG's Bridget Chapman is live there now. Bridget, are more customers expected to get power today, and basically what are they doing to help people get back on track?
Well, officials still aren't comfortable giving an official date of when power will be back on for everyone. There are still 44,000 people without power, and although that has been a huge step, there's still a long ways to go. Today, officials said that they have cleared 256 cases of trees in the streets, which is over half of the total reports. About 75 intersections are still dark, and they have crews working to fix those and direct traffic. A main issue brought up was the long lines at the two DHS offices today, where people are waiting in the heat to reinstate food stamps. They're having crews bringing them water and offering free transportation. They're also tightening the communication between MLGW and DHS to get people food quicker than initially said. But one topic brought up today as well is how they want to see Governor Bill Haslam out here in person to see the devastation for himself.
I think everyone feels better when you see the person that has the power coming in and being sensitive and talking to the rest of the community, and that's what we have to do. We'll put in a call to him, see if we can get him coming here this week, because he has a plane, he has access.
I'm going to have more for you today at 4 on what's being done, the latest updates, and what's being done to help these people in need. Reporting live downtown, Bridget Chapman, WREG, News Channel 3.
Bridget, thank you for that update. And as a friendly reminder, MLGW crews are working overtime to get your lights back on. They have fixed the larger outages. They did that first, and now they're working on the smaller ones. And that means it may take a little more time because the new repairs will turn on less houses than the ones earlier this week. It is also worth noting the utility will not disconnect your services. They won't be turning off the lights if you haven't paid your bill while they are working to fix the outages. Happening now, Memphians are in line hoping to get some food relief after the storm knocked out power for days, causing everything to spoil. You heard Bridget mention this. These are the long lines at DHS offices. Shelby County residents who lost power for more than 12 hours and are already enrolled in SNAP are eligible for replacement benefits. They just need to fill out a request within 10 days of their food spoiling. Call 1-866-311-4287 or visit one of the DHS offices to get help. You can find that information on the homepage of WREG.com. The Shelby County Juvenile Court building in downtown is open again. Earlier this week, the facility on Adams didn't have power. Yesterday, it closed because a faulty backup generator started leaking gas. Environmental crews cleaned up that mess, and now the building is back open for business. Memphis police are looking for the man who stole a $4,000 diamond necklace and earring set. Investigators released surveillance photos from Kay's jewelry store in Oakwood Mall. They say the suspect asked to see those items Monday, but then snatched them from the clerk's hands when she took them out of the case. If you know who this man is, you should call Crime Stoppers at 528-CASH. There's breaking news in the job world. The Kellogg Company is closing its Memphis distribution center in Northeast Memphis. That means 172 workers will be laid off. The facility is located on Shelby Oaks Drive. It's set to close at the end of July, according to the Memphis Business Journal. The Memphis closure is part of a larger nationwide cost-cutting initiative. This is not the production facility in South Memphis. There's no word yet on when that building will close. Of course, be sure to watch the news at 4:30 to find out what this means for those workers. Happening today, Matter wants to hear from you on how to improve the bus routes in Memphis. The Memphis Area Transit Authority says it plans to add 4 routes this fall. It also wants to alter bus schedules starting in August, but they want to know what you think about it first. The meeting is scheduled for this evening from 5 to 7. It'll be held at the Benjamin Hook Central Library on Poplar. Taking a look at weather this noon, here's a live look outside. It's going to be another tough day for the thousands of people without electricity, with warmer temperatures and humidity moving in. WREG's Austin Onick is here now in our severe weather center. Austin, just how warm is it going to get today?
Well,
across the nation, White House officials say President Trump is expected to pull out of the global climate agreement to cut carbon emissions. The decision is expected to anger allies and some big companies focused on combating climate change. But President Trump has called global warming a hoax. Kelly O'Hara explains what's next.
President Trump is ready to make good on another campaign promise.
We're going to cancel the Paris Climate Agreement.
He tweeted this morning, "I will be announcing my decision on the Paris Accord over the next few days." He's planning to pull the U.S. out of the landmark global agreement between almost 200 nations. Former President Obama played a large role in negotiating the 2015 pact to voluntarily cut carbon emissions.
History may well judge it as a turning point for our planet.
President Trump has been working on reversing some U.S. climate change policies since taking office, but some of his top aides have been divided on the issue. The president met with EPA Administrator Scott Pruitt Tuesday, who has questioned whether humans are to blame for global warming. And Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell and 21 other GOP senators sent the president a letter last week urging him to ditch the agreement. Democrats say leaving would be a historic misstep.
It would damage our standing on the world stage and allow China to take the moral high ground.
In Italy last week, G7 leaders also pressed President Trump to stick to the agreement. Exactly how the U.S. will pull out or whether the president may try to renegotiate part of the deal is not yet clear. Kelly O'Hara for CBS News, the White House.
President Trump met with Environmental Protection Agency Administrator Scott Pruitt, who wants to withdraw. POTUS is set to meet with the Secretary of State, Rex Tillerson, today. Tillerson supports remaining in that deal. A man is facing charges today accused of bringing a number of weapons to the Trump International Hotel in Washington. Police say Brian Moles had an assault rifle and a handgun and ammunition inside his vehicle. Sources say the Metropolitan Police Department received a tip that the man was on his way to the hotel and they stopped him. Trump International Hotel is located just blocks from the White House. This tweet is making its rounds on social media. President Trump posted it around midnight. It says, despite the constant negative press, Kofifi appears to be an unfinished tweet with a typo, but who knows? Someone in Trump's camp finally deleted the tweet this morning. The president later tweeted, "Who can figure out the true meaning of Kofifi? Enjoy." Comedian Kathy Griffin is in hot water after taking a photo holding an imitation of President Trump's decapitated head. Now both sides of the political aisle are condemning the picture. Hillary Clinton's daughter Chelsea wrote on Twitter that it's never funny to joke about killing the president. Griffin apologized on social media.
I went too far. I made a mistake and I was wrong. The image is too disturbing. I understand how it offends people. It wasn't funny. I get it.
Trump tweeted this response: Kathy Griffin should be ashamed of herself. My children, especially my 11-year-old son, Barron, are having a hard time with this. Sick. We'll be right back.
Your #1 new newscast, WREG News Channel 3.
We have a recall alert. We have 2 nut recalls to tell you about. Simple Truth dry roasted macadamia nuts and Ava's organic cashews, roasted and salted, could be contaminated with listeria. The macadamia nuts were sold in Kroger stores. They have a May 2nd, 2018 expiration date. The cashews have a best buy date of April 28th, 2018. No illnesses have been reported in either recall. Workers are protesting Walmart, demanding more pay, and their mission spilled into the streets of Memphis. The protest is part of a nationwide union-backed tour called Expose Walmart. The group wants the superstore to increase its average pay. Protesters say low pay forces workers to rely on food stamps to feed their families.
Would Jesus shop at Walmart? Nah. And neither should we unless Walmart can treat its workers and the cities and towns in which it does its business fairly.
Walmart says its average salary for a full-time worker is more than $13 an hour. The tour wraps up Friday at Walmart's annual shareholders meeting in Fayetteville, Arkansas. Well, drivers beware. Construction on the new Methodist University Hospital is underway, and it could cause traffic delays. The far right lane going northbound in front of the hospital will be closed until September. The hospital is asking non-emergency patients, family members, and visitors to park in the free parking plaza on East Moreland, just west of Claybrook. The $280 million project is expected to be completed in 2019. Across the nation, CBS News is reportedly looking for a new anchor for its evening news. Sources say Scott Pelley was pushed out as anchor of CBS Evening News. They say lower ratings are to blame. Pelley is expected to return to CBS's 60 Minutes full-time. Anthony Mason has been filling in for Pelley and is likely to host the show until CBS names a permanent replacement. New at noon, a community is calling a 14-year-old Florida boy a hero today. They say he's the reason his younger brother is alive after a seizure. Brandon Bayer shows us how the teenager saved his brother's life.
Jordan is not your ordinary 14-year-old kid.
Jordan Ferguson is setting the Big Brother bar pretty high in his family.
I don't look at myself as a hero. I just what the right thing to do, being my brother.
But Mom says he is a hero. And when it comes to teenagers, moms are usually right.
Did he save his little brother's life?
Yes, he did. No doubt about it.
Last week, Sharitha Ferguson was in the hospital giving birth to her daughter, Courtney. Back at home, her middle child, Jaden, was coming down with a fever. His temperature quickly climbed to 105 degrees. Jordan FaceTimed his mom.
Jaden's acting weird. What should I do?
Jordan, turn his head. Let me see his eyes. I was shocked because Jaden was stiff as a board, eyes wide open, and the only thing he was doing was blinking.
He wasn't making no sounds, no movements.
Jordan's mom told him to call 911, but the paramedics got turned around in their Pembroke Pines apartment complex, and Jordan was getting nervous.
First, Jordan hears the ambulance. He can tell they're close by. He runs out the balcony. He can see they're missing the apartment. So he sprints down the stairs. He bursts through the front door. Now he's running down the street trying to catch this ambulance.
They didn't see me, so I had to tell the operator to tell them what I was wearing. I was wearing a bright green shirt.
Honey.
Paramedics rushed Jaden to the hospital. He was in serious condition, but they got his temperature down and stabilized him. Sharitha's a lucky mom, now raising two healthy babies and a hero.
Now I had to do the same thing for my little sister, make sure she doesn't have a moment like this.
Heaven forbid she does. She's in good hands.
Yes, he did set the Big Brother bar very high there.
Nice job. Good on you, kid. Nice job.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
How nice is this weather going to be?
You know, it's the last day of May. Hurricane season starts tomorrow.
Yes.
June is here, along with the 11 and a half months of summer that we usually have. I may have forgotten to carry the two, but we still have some warmer weather ahead. This is technically not too bad for this time of the year.
I was thinking it's not too warm, but I'm over the rain.
Well,